All right, let's do it. All in.
I call your bullshit bluff. That's what I'm doing. We're all in. All right, ready? No music, no nothing. Raw. Here we go. Let me get the image for us. All right. It's weird because we don't have all the applause. I don't have my glasses, anything. And yay, here we are. Hey, what's up, dude?
I can golf clap. Yay.
Yay. I could do the silliness that we do. It's really weird because I can't hear myself. Because normally when I do the show, I can hear. Right now, I don't have it set up, so I need to figure that out. Make sure your audio is good and mine.
Audio is good.
All right, mine's good. Give me a check on your end.
Test, test, test. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire pinball machine.
Is that what you're looking at?
That's the one that came up.
Oh man, I even have my sound effects. We could use the sound effects. All right, so this is really officially the second video we've ever done on this channel, really, right?
Yeah, second.
I did the live stream the other day with my buddy George, who's teaching me how to do a lot of leverage trading with Bitcoin.
Right.
So we did that just so people could see it, and we think we're going to keep doing that in the future. So when we're like actively trading on an account, you can see it happening live. So that's the idea. So we can also have tape to go back and look, and everybody else can watch and see how we screw up if they end up wanting to do Bybit versus just trading crypto. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So we'll just add
There's,
that in there.
there's been a lot. There's been a lot taking place since we had that our last chat, and I think that a whole bunch of people got invested, and
Me too,
they're
man.
they're looking at it. They're looking at Bitcoin. They're hearing us talk about it. I'm posting on my Facebook about it, right?
Right?
And really, what's happened is everybody got involved with Robinhood, and they got involved with
Oh yeah, man,
Dogecoin,
that was the turning point.
and it was the
Absolutely.
entry, the total entry point, and people were like, "Well, maybe I should take crypto more seriously because they made a couple $100 or whatever off of Doge." And I told them, it was always supposed to be a pump and dump. So
Hmm.
don't take this meme coin seriously. You need to be looking at Bitcoin. You need to be looking at Ethereum and all the other ones that we see trending that, guys like us have been doing this a little bit longer, and we understand the highs and the lows and what it's going to take to be sustainable. I mean, my low investment that I made a couple years ago is now, and I'm looking at buying car territory, with my wallet. So
So here's what I saw, me included. We talked about the last time about I first got introduced to crypto in 17, did a little dabble in, took it all out. Didn't think much of it because I didn't really know everything about it. Still confusing. But you're right. With when it about 4 months ago, I started thinking more about it. Like I knew I had more money coming. I'm like, I need to figure out where I'm going to invest, right? So, and crypto was on the page. Absolutely, I was committed to putting some in, but I didn't realize where it was. So I did more investigation, and then it just happened to coincide with the time that Doge, or before Doge, when that the stock started with AMC and Sandal and all the other
GameStop,
ones, all that GameStop and all that crap. So I got in, you know, I tried to get in a little bit of that action, right? Who didn't?
right?
um, but then that opened the door to crypto. I was already investigating it. I'm like, wow, this is where am I going to put my money? What am I going
Right.
to put it in? And so, and then all of a sudden, because that stock was doing what it was doing, Doge came right after it. Like it was all in that week. Earlier part of the week was Robinhood's situation and shutting everybody down, and then immediately was Doge. Immediately, like they like overlapped for a week there. And I knew then as we were getting into it that that's like, okay, this is real. Like this is really going to happen. The
Yeah.
crypto is here, and that wasn't the staple. Like I knew then, and that's only what a month ago.
Sure.
I knew it was going to be big, but it wasn't hammered in stone yet, right? We just people knew this was going to pop off. Like it's going to be main stage. Little did we know, 2 weeks ago, right after you and I spoke, and
Big explosion.
big explosion. Elon dumps, 1.5 billion, and then you've got Apple rumors going around that they bought 5 billion.
I hope that's true. I
Man,
really banking on that as Apple really taking this thing. I mean, I can't take Dogecoin seriously,
it's not. It's a pump and dump of every essence. It is
right?
a it's part of the Bitcoin family, if you will. It's part of Bitcoin. It's a layer of Bitcoin. So I don't know where you're at in your understanding about crypto now, but man, I have crash coursed myself on this stuff.
Sure.
It's very interesting when you get into the nitty and gritty, but basically Doge is just a layer of the blockchain on Bitcoin, if you will, right?
Mhm.
It has minimal purpose, if anything, right? It's not much. It was made and created as a meme token, that's all it was made for, and
Right.
it has no cap. So right there, there's no cap. There's no limited quantity of said items, right? So that you can print it forever, just like you can print paper money forever, and eventually it becomes worthless if it's not backed by anything.
So when we peel the layers of the onion back, right? Because everybody's getting into it. And I had people reach out to me and said, "Hey, I know you know crypto. What do I have to do to buy this coin?" And I said, "Don't. Just don't. Like, let's look at the
No,
numbers, okay? Look at the numbers. And when we look at Dogecoin, it's currently at 5 cents, okay? Market cap 7 billion. Circulating supply 128.5 billion, which is very surprising. And then we look at Bitcoin, okay? Market cap 1 trillion.
yeah, I'm trying to pull it
Circulating
up.
supply 18.6 million. Number one most held, the one everybody hears about when you talk cryptocurrency, the one that Microsoft accepts as payment, the one that Tesla accepts as payment. Uh, I was in a gas station last week getting
Where were you at?
here in the Chicago area,
Okay,
and
just trying to figure out how far this thing's spreading because I know I got some stories too. Go ahead.
so I go in there and they have an ATM on the left, and they have a cryptocurrency machine on the right.
Oh, it was
And I,
yours. It was your
yeah,
post then.
yeah. So I'm like, dude, I'm like, this thing is everywhere, and I'm not talking about any kind of like, fancy area that I went to. I had actually just gone in to use the ATM, and when I saw that crypto, what do we call it? It's like an ATM for crypto, I
Yeah,
guess, and
right. It's
I was
really
I
what
was
it looked like.
shocked. I was like, dude, I'm like, this is awesome. This is what we've been talking about. It's
Yeah.
here, it's now, it's the future, and that's the point I think that we try to drive home with other people. And as they start to get into it, the education is look at the things that we see, and now here's the proof that you can go out in your communities and you're seeing ways to pay and withdraw um, with crypto, and I think that's awesome. I don't want to get cash out. I just bought something today. A guy wanted me to get cash out from the ATM, and I'm like, can I just pay you digitally? I'm not going to cough up my Bitcoin for that, but I,
Please,
I just
please
I just
don't.
do not want to handle cash. I'm not interested. I typically feel like if I have cash, I need to spend it or I will lose it. You know, and
S-
finding an ATM these days to deposit it's not so easy. So
So I'm setting up my trading view platform so we can share that, on the stream on these recordings slash live streams. I need to share it out. I haven't shared it out to the group yet to get them in here and I gotta find the chat, which there's
sure.
nothing really going on. Okay. Um, but
In one
either
year,
way, go ahead.
Bitcoin is up 478%
Right.
in one year.
So the numbers are staggering. Like it's weeks. I can pull it up right here. See if I can pull it up right here. So let me see if I can share my screen real quick. Get it on OBS real fast. Hold on. I got to switch, and I've got to add.
I was really trying to
S-
line somebody up for today to come in and share this time with us because I wanted somebody who was new to this. I wanted somebody who's been messing around with Robinhood for the last couple of weeks. I wanted somebody who's been attempting GameStop, AMC, and Dogecoin gains as kind of a newcomer, and I wanted them to share their experiences, but I couldn't line it up.
no.
Um, but I think that'd be something that we could do, maybe next week or for the next one is to get somebody on and say, hey, tell us what your experiences are as somebody new coming into crypto, and share for everybody that might be watching our video that path that you took, and did that work out for you, and have you shifted your focus from that kind of crazy thing that was taking place over the course of a week, have you shifted your focus to sustainable crypto like Ethereum, like Bitcoin, Like I always hesitate to say Litecoin because I dumped it when it
Did you?
went higher. Yeah, I totally did because I have a Litecoin miner over here, an Ant Miner L3. I was
Oh,
mining Litecoin in my garage for probably about a month, and I realized that one, it was the middle of winter time. My garage was super hot. I was paying a ton of money in electricity, and I knew I wasn't getting a good return on my investment. So um, I hung on to it. I watched Litecoin dip to $40, and then I think I sold it at $150, and now it's up over 200. In fact, let me look at it.
what's the lesson to be learned?
Well, hold on for dear life, right? Hodl
Hodl,
that.
hodl, hodl, hodl,
Hodl, hodl.
whatever the hell it's called. Whatever these
It's sitting
kids
at
said these days.
it's at $227
All right, so I
right now.
can't. I have a problem right now, which is I can't seem to share my screen on this. I don't know why OBS is not letting me share my screen, which is crucial. I mean, I want to be able to show the desktop, and
Yeah.
for whatever reason, I don't know why it's giving me a horseshit of a time, but it is, or a difficult time. I don't know why it's doing it. Let me see if I can add a different source. All right, well, I have to go with it. I have to figure something out.
Do, 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 do.
Hold on a sec. What happened? All right, never mind. Bear with me.
It's okay. Interesting facts, though.
Hey, hon, I'm on this
Go.
call.
I know all
It
about
sounded
that.
like she was coming around.
So interesting fact: Bitcoin's at an all-time high, right? We're sitting over almost 56,000 as of 2 seconds ago, and still it's showing that the trading activity is that 72% of people are still buying. They're
You know
pumping
why?
tons of money in.
They're doing it. I think there's some manipulation going on for sure. You know,
Right.
there could be. I know there is or has been with Ethereum. Um, so you can take that for what you want. You know, I'm looking at it right now. Look at that. It just keeps poking all-time highs, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. It's gone up in 1 week almost 2 grand.
Yeah.
1 week.
If we go back even just a month,
If you
it's
put,
up
oh my God, if you put a
it's
long
up
trade on it,
60%, 60% in almost 61% in just 1 month. And I'm super pumped about it because I got invested at around $8,000 or $9,000. I saw it dip at one point all the way down to 4,500 or 4,400, and people were back then. They're like, it's so volatile. How could it ever come back up to its previous high, which was what, 19,000 or around, give or
20. I
take?
thought it would hit 20. 20 was his all time was another all time.
And then
Like
fast
big
forward
big
here,
mile marker.
here we are today, February 20th, 2021, and we're sitting at 55,000 and up.
I mean,
It's nuts.
it's insane. People were saying it was going to take a little bit longer to get to 55,000, but then the more I started diving into the channels and listening to these some of these tubers, right? Um, they were talking like right at like they saw the writing on the wall. They legitimately saw it and they said it was coming. It's coming quicker
Right.
than you think. And then they were giving off, which is really cool. You get to find out all this information of what's really going on with crypto. Once you realize it's real, like it's not going away. It's not a fad. It's
Sure.
a legitimate asset. Um, you start listening and seeking out, due diligence, trying to find out information, right? You start hearing all this stuff that never gets put on the news. You never hear about this stuff on the news.
Yeah.
News is too filled with what's going to sell, what's going to
That's
get
right.
viewership. Because then the bottom line is they have stockholders. They literally legitimately have. The more you get into all this financing, you understand that everybody's got somebody whose hands are in that. Like, if, for instance, media, right? So you got money there, right? So they're gonna do whatever needs to do to raise stocks, right? Make money, get them. So they don't always push all this stuff that you hear about Bitcoin. You have to dig for it
Sure.
or anything in crypto. But some of these YouTube channels really have the finger on the pulse. And
So let's talk,
everything they've been saying the past 3 4 weeks, I've been listening to them on a hardcore basis every day and night, is come true.
so let's
It's
talk about something.
legitimately come through. It's
Let's talk
crazy.
about something that you and I had kind of discussed this a little bit, and kind of circling back for anybody who is now just getting into this for the first time. I started on Coinbase. I don't remember if anybody actually referred me or not, but Coinbase makes it very easy for people to buy and sell crypto, to track crypto. It shows some trend analysis. It tells you, if you were to go look at, say, Ethereum right now in the price tracker for Coinbase, it's going to also give you related news articles that will help you make a decision whether you should buy, sell, or hold, or whatever, or convert your funds, because that's the thing you can do as well. But we're also talking about Coinbase Pro, and the main difference is it's the same wallet, right? It's the same company holding the funds for you, but Coinbase Pro is not as user friendly, but it does have lower fees for buying and selling crypto. So that's something that we should definitely talk about, because I know there's all kinds of people that
Right.
are
So,
hitting me up and saying, "Hey, what do I got to do to get involved?" And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Coinbase referral, and I'm going to refer you and get you into it, get
all
you
right.
looking at it.
So here's what I'm going to show now. If you can check the stream just so we can see that it's actually recording the image right, I'm going to show. I think I got a workaround to display my screen. So if you can see if it works, that'd be great. And I want to show that. I want to show them Coinbase so people know what we're talking about.
Sure.
Um, Plus, I want to show them trading view because that's so important. Checking right now. See if it's showing the screen. Looks like a no.
I don't see it.
No, I don't either. How about now?
I do not see it.
Yeah, there we go. I think, right?
I don't see it. But if you see it, that's good because you're recording.
Yeah. Let's do this right here. Okay. I think it's working. Yeah. Perfect. All right. I'm checking it right now. See if we get a good. It literally had to figure out a solution to all this nonsense. All right. So Dave, we're looking at right now. TradingView. Have you used that yet?
Have not used the trading view now.
All right, so TradingView is what I found out through my digging into all this because the channel's Newbies to Crypto. We're all new to this, right? What everybody's using is what's called TradingView. So I've got a few other people getting on it as well, right? Everybody so far that I spoke to that's getting into this, they I've told them to get uh, TradingView and get the depends on how much you're going to trade, how often you're going to trade will dictate what level you want to get because they offer paid versions. You can get a free version, and then you can get a Pro and a Pro Plus, and then a Platinum, I think. And I've got the Pro Plus. But what it does is it's like the ticker, like the stock market. And so you see everything down to the minute of how that particular crypto asset is moving. And you can add like indicators into it, right? And
So do you
there's
get alerts? Is
yeah,
it able to
yeah,
set up
yeah,
alerts?
yeah.
Okay.
So if you're looking on the screen now, if you pull up the channel, our recording, and you can just follow along. I'll show you.
Sure.
But I think this is crucial, and then we'll show everybody else the whatchamacallit, Coinbase and the other exchanges, because Coinbase isn't the only one. Found that out. There's a bunch. All right.
Right.
Let me know when you get there, and that's okay because I'm sharing it out to some guys that I know that want to
Yep. Too
want to
easy.
watch. If you want anybody to watch, just share it out.
Have you done a tutorial by chance?
Nope, not yet. So
Okay.
literally, I'm just we're this is second day for you and me.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
But since the day you and I spoke, it's like the floodgates open. I just went
Yeah.
full steam, no holds barred. I've been up nights at till 4 in the morning.
Yeah, so speaking of, I got my mother involved with this, and
Hmm.
look, I've been trying to get her into doing this crypto thing uh, for probably 3 years now. So she finally gets into it, and I talked to her the other day, and she's like, because of you, I've been up all night watching the trends. Uh, she's a certified treasury professional. She absolutely, is involved, has tons of stocks and years and years of experience. But like we had talked about in our last session, um, a lot of people that have that old, the stocks are good at the stock market. They've been doing this a long time. They're scared of crypto, or they don't understand crypto. And so for my mom now to have taken that plunge and actually gotten into it is completely awesome. I'm super super pumped that she's finally hearing me. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right. You're finally hearing you stand on the rooftop screaming crypto, crypto,
Yeah,
crypto. So I
exactly.
ran into a guy tonight. I went and picked up a monitor at a pawn store. I used to work for a pawn shop a number of years ago. My old boss was there, and we were talking. And I said, "Hey, remember when we were here, when we were working together? We worked with this other guy who told us about Ethereum and Bitcoin, and also I don't think it was Stellar Lumens. I can't remember what the other one was. But anyways, like he's like, you should put some money in it. And that person, that my old boss, said, no, man, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. But my dad, that's all he talks about. It's all he's been talking about for 4 years now
Right.
is crypto, 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 altcoins. He trades altcoins. And I don't know if everybody knows what that is, but an altcoin is an alternative coin to Bitcoin. Those have just all the off brands. Doge is an altcoin, for instance. Wow, right? Would it be considered? Yeah. But
Yeah.
anyways, altcoins are like there's so many things in crypto. It's crazy. There's so many different groups of coins. So it's not just Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the gold, right?
Right.
And then there's Ethereum. And Ethereum's the new digital currency.
That's your number two.
That's your number
And
two. And there's a reason why. I know I'm kind of getting sidetracked. There's a lot of information that I found out that I wanted to share. Ethereum is a huge thing. It's so big that I've got money in it now, and then I told my kids about it that can buy their version, their shares or coins of Ethereum. There's a video on YouTube. Um, I'll just post it down in the links. That way people can go check it out after this.
sure.
But anyways, this guy explains it, and once you see it, it'll totally make sense to you. Everything will click. It will just make sense. And what he talks about in a nutshell is gold. Bitcoin is gold 2.0.
Yeah.
It's not the old gold that's been around 5,000 years, right? It's gold. The new gold is here. It's not going anywhere. Is 2.0. Just like you saw with the ATM wanting to trade with crypto because of gold of the crypto of the Bitcoin. Ethereum is, think of it as the dollar, an actual dollar, right? But it has a computer chip on it. So that dollar then can be programmed to only work in certain um, fields or certain markets, like real estate or I mean, just fill in the blank. It could be anything. The guy talks about like
Sure.
using it for driving apps for like like an Uber or a Lyft, right? Where the transaction is, I will pay you 100 Ethereum for your house, and then you just transfer over Ethereum and you're done. It
Sure.
literally takes care of all the middleman, all the getting a loan pre-approved to when you sign down and sign it, where then you get all these people, middlemen involved to just make the deal happen. When it should be simple as giving someone 100 Ethereum and they give you the house and the keys.
Yeah.
And that's what Ethereum is going to bring, right? But the problem with Ethereum right now is its cost to trade it. So when you
Sure.
go to trade it, you get what's called gas fees, and that the term means literally just to move it from here to there costs too much money. The reason why is because it can't do as many transactions as it needs to. It's slow. It's
And then we start.
dynamic, but it's slow. So once it's slated to release 2.0 Ethereum, 2.0 Ethereum solves the problem. So now it can be as fast as these alternative coins to Ethereum are trying to challenge.
Have you signed up for the Ethereum 2.0 staking right now? I mean, I'm on a waiting list. I got
Yeah,
notified by
we got to get
Coinbase.
notified, I think, on Coinbase. Let me type in
Sure.
Coinbase so we can go to that to show everybody.
So I'm currently looking at Ethereum is 1894 right now. Um, a year ago, if I go back and look a year ago, back February 22nd last year, it was sitting at right under $262. So this is the time where I invested a little bit into Ethereum. I own just under 3 coins of Ethereum. So now
That's
looking at
nice.
it,
I got one. I've got
well,
one, and that's fine. One's
yeah,
good.
I,
It's
I
just
just
where
like
I
to
got it.
see that. I like to see that grow and turn into something because now we're looking at. I mean, I saw Ethereum up over 2 grand here not too long ago,
So I don't.
which is amazing.
the problem is I don't want to show up any of my assets or anything like that. So I'm not going to pull and sign into my actual thing. And hopefully I can
Sure.
show what I need to do. But the main thing is whoever watching this, Coinbase. I don't know if you know this, Dave. Within Coinbase, Coinbase is where it's basically the the arch in St. Louis. It's welcoming you into the West, right? Because that's what
Right.
the arch
Right.
was, right? So think
The
of it that
butthole to the east,
the
right?
butt the butthole to the east, a majestic opening to the west. So, uh,
So majestic.
yeah, it is. And you, so think of Coinbase like that. It's like the welcoming, hey, this is where you can go safely to go and trade your blue chip coins, if you will, right? So your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, all that stuff. Now, oh, cool. It does show it right here. Cool. So, like, these are the top of the list. So, you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and they'll almost always be number one and two. Those will literally be at the top. Back to what I was saying, real quick. Bitcoin's the gold, and there's a limited amount. There is only so much. There's your supply, 18.6 million. Ethereum, that's why it's going up. Plus, inflation is causing this to go up, by
Sure.
the way. And then everybody now, there's a whole so much shit I wanted to tell you. Ethereum is the smart dollar, so it's gonna only get so much. They're predicting on these channels and these, I guess we'll call them experts, right? Because they apparently know what they're talking about. They're talking like $10,000, $15,000.
Yeah.
That's what they're talking about getting into. Now, will
I
it?
know.
They say it won't be as much as Bitcoin. They don't think. 20 years, they're thinking these numbers are going to be like astronomical.
Yeah.
They're talking like $1 million Bitcoin.
I actually was I was reading an article that said this global hashing war with all the coins. Our
Hmm.
let's call Bitcoin our primary coin, right?
Right, that's right here,
Uh,
number one. That's the gold.
and so they're saying that this global hash thing is going to send Bitcoin over 500,000 probably within the next year. And I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions that people have when you start to talk to them about crypto or when they ask questions is, well, I don't have enough to buy one Bitcoin. And I think it's really important to point out that it's whatever you can afford. If you can
Yeah,
only afford
yeah.
$20, put your $20 in. And people under the misconception that they have to buy, they have to pay the 55,000 whatever Bitcoin is worth right now, which is totally not the case. Just put a little bit in. I mean, I do not have a Bitcoin. I do not own one Bitcoin. I own a fraction of a Bitcoin.
Right. I don't owe 50, and I don't owe a Bitcoin. And um, you can buy it as much as you want. You can go in with $10. You can go with, there's no limit. Like stock market, sometimes you have a limit, right? There's a limit of amount of shares you can buy, said stock. Um, yeah, I guess you could probably get partial stock somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah,
But the bottom line is it's easy to get into, and that's what Coinbase is. Coinbase is your Apple of the exchanges. This is an
sure.
exchange. This is where you go and exchange your money for digital money. And so that's all it is in the nutshell. You can trade within it, but there's Coinbase Pro, right? Coinbase Pro, let me see if I can pull it out. They type it as Pro Coinbase. This is where you actually go and trade constantly.
Yeah.
The Coinbase regular is for just easy trading, right? If that makes sense, right? Just
Hmm.
get in, get out real quick. I just want to put some in and some out. Whereas Coinbase Pro is where you're putting your, and then you can safely keep it on Coinbase, right? Coinbase is a
Yeah.
digital wallet, so think of it like your little mini safe. It is. It's very safe there. It's not going to get hacked. It's very improbable that it will get hacked, and it's a very secure. And it seems to be that's the running narrative with all the other professional crypto people, that that's where you want to park your money.
Yeah. And here's
But
the
but
other
if you
part.
want to trade it, put it on Coinbase Pro, pull it
Right.
off your wallet, put it on Coinbase Pro. It doesn't cost you anything because it's within Coinbase, and then you can actively trade it. Like you can swap on the fly real quick, buy some
Right.
Bitcoin, get some Ethereum while it's on the on a dip, or you know what I mean. You can do that there, and where the prices are way less. You can do that on Coinbase, but it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Yeah,
This
and
you
the transfer is free
right,
between Coinbase and Coinbase Pro.
correct,
So I think that the main thing, or like what I like to do, because I'm reluctant to give up regular Coinbase. I know that they charge more, but what that means to me is I love to do the trend analysis on there, the related articles, and I that number one thing I look at is, are people buying or selling right now? Because if you look at Bitcoin Cash, it's like 51% are buying, 49% are selling, which means that don't mess with that coin, because you're not going to see gains or losses. Or I mean, you can, obviously it could blow up overnight. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is, if you're looking to purchase, you can buy on Coinbase Pro, and there is no fee to transfer it to Coinbase,
right.
regular Coinbase.
And on here, you could trade a multitude of things. I mean, I'm looking at the list. There's just tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of coins, right? And these are all the alternative coins. And I guess I want to give everybody, since it's newbies to crypto, you got to learn about the coin. You got to know what the coin does. If you're not knowing what the coin is and you're just stabbing in the dark, that's literally just you're just flipping a coin and throwing darts at the wall and hoping that you hit a bullseye eventually, right? You're gonna end up losing doing it that way. You have to be
Yeah,
more active in this. You can't. It's not like a stock where you're throwing it in and you're thinking in 5 years, maybe I'll gain some interest. Maybe some are a little more volatile than others, of course, but this is totally different. I think you
yeah,
need to be paying attention to it on the daily, once in the morning, once in the evening, and then maybe have some alerts set using, like this, using TradingView. You can set alerts in here, and then you can go back to Coinbase Pro and make some trades if you need to, and then pull it back out when you're done trading it and stick it back in your Coinbase wallet.
yeah,
Um, just man, I wish we did our show last week because I'm like uncorked. I got so much information and I don't know where to release it all.
yeah,
Going back, I'm changing gears. On Coinbase, you're right. You can go to what's called Learn, and there's a lot of articles in here that they publish. Right here, it talks about Bitcoin and the big picture. Here's talking about Elon Musk and what's going on with that. And that's a lot of big information that I wanted to get out. That's very late, but still, people that watch this eventually need to understand that financial institutions are literally buying Bitcoin. By just your mind would be boggled by how much money they're trying to throw into Bitcoin and get Bitcoin. And then when they buy it, they're taking it off. So in other words,
yeah,
they're cold storaging their Bitcoin. So it's like a mass rush to grab what you can before it's all off.
yeah,
Then it's not on the chain. It's just in cold storage. And I mean, which is going to make it more expensive.
yeah. Which means, for everybody out there that might be watching or listening, you have the option. You have your online wallets, your
Yeah,
crypto wallet, your e-wallet.
yeah, your little safes.
You have an opportunity to, like, there's one out there called Ledger, which
Yeah,
is it's a hardware wallet, is what it's called. It looks like a USB storage device. I mean, I guess that's practically what it is. But it
yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Pull
gets
it up right now.
encrypted, and you're able to not necessarily withdraw, but transfer everything that you have to your hardware wallet that is completely safe, and it can't be attacked. And
Yeah,
you have to be very cautious that you do not lose it.
so there's this one, which is I think we've talked about this before. I talked about it with somebody else. So we're looking at the ledger right here, Dave, showing it
Yep.
up on the page, and that's where you can cold storage your crypto. So once you've bought your crypto, you can then follow however you do this in order to pull it off and literally have it on there. You can also use what's called a treasure, I guess, Trezor
Yeah.
Model T. This is what I'm eventually going to get.
Do you have any cold storage right now? Are you doing a hardware wallet?
I'm just
Yeah, I'm
doing
not
no,
either.
I'm not yet, but I'm going to. That's the point.
Yeah. I
Uh,
love it. I love the technology, and I think that it's really important to acknowledge the different ways to store your crypto. But you have to be very cognizant that you maintain positive control of this thing. Put it in a safe deposit box or something.
mhm.
Or if your kids grab it and they take it to school and lose it, like you're done.
You're done.
You know?
That's it. That's like throwing money out the window. That's like them taking your safe. It's like them
Yeah.
picking up your safe and walking off with it. It's literally what it is. There's no getting it back. There's no backup. There's no. That's it. Here now, I'm actually on the website. They offer one thing that's really cool, Dave. I don't know if you noticed that. They actually have a it's weird. I don't know how to describe it. Let's see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, and I don't actually know about this one,
This is really, oh,
so
right here.
this
Here it
one's
is.
cool.
So the Ultimate Pack, which is the actual like USB dongle device, and then it has a, a tube that I guess apparently you put the digits or the coding, a physical code. In other words,
Sucker,
your
smart,
key, a key, the physical, tangible key that you
right?
place in there. It's right here. It's really weird. It's called a crypto steel cassette. Crypto steel cassette is designed for to securely store recovery seeds and other alphanumeric data up to 96 characters long. It's the perfect pocket-sized stainless steel offline backup tool.
Hmm.
So if you lose your ultimate wallet key, which is your number, right? You literally have it's not stored. It's literally a metal. I just thought it was an interesting concept. Like,
Hmm.
wow, all right, they're really serious. My friend has this one. I won't say my friend. Somebody that I know online actually has this one. The Trezor One Metallic. It's $600. No thanks.
Oh man,
No,
wow.
no, I'm not doing that.
I mean, I'm up, but I'm
Model,
not like
yeah,
willing.
Model T is probably what I'm going to get. It's worth getting. The value of your stuff's going up. That's the point. It may seem like maybe you don't feel like you think you have enough or it's not enough. It's enough. It's a lot. Because everything. Just think about it. What you have now in Bitcoin and Ethereum in a year's time is, I think for sure. I'm just following what they're saying. I'm not a prediction. Foreseeing the future. I'm just saying
Call me now.
based on the market and what big old money is doing now, big old money, if that makes sense, is buying the shit out of Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Institutions are buying Bitcoin. You're vowed that the 55,000, we're gonna look back on it, and go, that was like another 20,000. You know what I mean?
sure.
I think that's what it is. I think 50,000 is a great number, but bam, then we hit 55,000. Bam, then it's gonna keep going. So
That's right.
having a good storage device, I think, is crucial. So there's the Treasure, and then there's the Ledger. I don't know where I did with it, but it was here. Those are your options. Those are the
Yeah.
only two that I know. If there's any other ones, then you know, post a comment, I guess.
Yeah, very cool.
Um,
I love the idea of the Ledger Nano, um, just to make things easier. But this other one is got my interest because, dude, I love fancy things, and I love the look of that one. Um, and if there's that extra layer of protection, and you know, let's be honest, what I'm worried about the most is losing my keys or losing my
yeah,
password or
yeah,
something. The older I get, I mean, what happens if I'm out riding my bike or something and something happens? Well, nobody can access my wallet.
Oh, reminds me of a story, bro. So I was hanging out with my buddy George. He's the one I did the live stream the other day with, when we were leverage trading Bitcoin, which is a whole other thing.
Sure.
Um, he found a piece of paper that had Ethereum.
Hmm.
No, this is like 4.5, 4 years, something like that, old, with his key on it. He's like, I've been looking for this forever. He's like, I used to mine Ethereum and I want to see if it's still there. I shut it down and here's my key. I've been looking for the key and the ID and all that. So he had lost it. In other words, he didn't have a ledger or a treasure uh, cold storage device. He just had it printed out on paper
Yeah.
and he lost it for a long time. And he just found it yesterday. And so he typed it in. There was nothing in it. I was
Oh
I
man.
was I was hoping for a good story. I was like, this is gonna be a great story. Yeah, well, I guess so. Big fail. No, there's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. So, but the point being, if you don't have it, right? If you don't have it in cold store, that ledger, at least you're really screwed.
Right.
You're really screwed. I mean, even though you could be safe on Coinbase and store your money there, it's a good safe digital safe, but it's
Yeah.
better to have a physical safe, like you would with your other tangible assets like gold or silver or whatever. Right? That's
Sure.
kind of the way I view it.
Well, yeah. I
So,
mean, you want to be able to protect it in a way that we all like when you look at gun safes as an example, they all have their fire rating, like how many minutes until that thing burns through, whatever. I mean,
right, right, right,
that's the kind of place you want to put stuff like this, just not randomly,
right.
on a bookshelf somewhere
Mm-mm.
or whatever.
I mean, because
So,
think about the people that did do that. Like they just kind of like what prime example what George did, just kind of, threw it away. What
right.
what if it had actual money in it? Then the story would have gone this way. He found it. We're talking about this. I'm like, oh my God, that's right. The
Yeah.
story. He found it and he lucked out. He lucked out. He found it and he lucked out. There was still money. There's still Ethereum in it. It would have been a totally different story. But he would have made thousands of dollars. He would have been a
Sure.
ton of money. He was mining it. But no. So it's very important to do that. I think. I don't. Right in the beginning, I think you're okay. So you're okay with Coinbase, but there are other digital like online wallets. But Coinbase seems to be the one. And here's a big thing. Did you hear about what's coming now for Coinbase?
What is it?
Get some money ready. Coinbase is doing an IPO.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, I'm all over
Okay.
that. So
Yeah.
there's a waiting list for that. So
What? How do you get on that waiting list?
you gotta
Let me
find it
see.
again. Just type
Oh
it in.
man,
Yeah, I was like, right. So you see the writing on the wall, right? So if
if
people are
this,
watching this, they need to understand that Coinbase isn't going anywhere. Look at its prices. It's gonna have It's gonna have to test a new low, right? A new
yeah,
high low, right? It's gonna dip down. It's gonna pull itself back. They all do it. Every stock does it. Every asset goes up, comes down. How far is it going to come down? I don't think it would dip any lower than like 45 grand. I really
so
doubt it. I really doubt it. And then it's going to immediately bounce back up.
this is 2 days ago. Here's what it says: crypto exchange Coinbase could be worth 100 billion after IPO. Okay,
So,
Coinbase valuation currently
right.
hits 77 billion as Bitcoin soared past
Where
51,000.
send me the link in our little chat. That way I can snag it real quick.
Yeah, yeah. Look at
What'd you just type in Coinbase IPO? Coinbase Pro? Or
I think
Coinbase?
so. Yeah, I think that's what I did. Let's see here.
Is it Reddit?
No, not Reddit.
I'm pulling
Like
it
a
up right now.
bunch of legit sources actually. That's yeah, that's
What's
huge.
the
That's
website?
huge.
What's the website?
This one is thestreet.com. That was just one of the ones I clicked on. That was updated just the other day.
Gets 77 point. Oh wow.
Got
Three
Business
days ago.
Insider.
3 days ago. Coinbase readying for public listing gets 77 billion valuation from Nasdaq.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So what I'm doing is I'm taking my Tesla. It's funny. Tesla's right there. Tesla, and I'm trying to get the IPO. There's Forbes. It's in Forbes magazine.
Yeah.
So look, folks, if you're not paying attention to this, sorry, you're missing the boat. The horn is literally sounding off, right? If you ever gotten on a ship, a cruise, or watched them, they sound the horn and they start pulling away from the dock. You're literally missing probably the biggest thing ever. Like if you're not in it right now with something,
And
because what's going to happen when all this goes? This is the one thing I wanted to mention to you, Dave. I heard this on another channel. The guy was talking about the same guy who's telling about Ethereum. I think he talks about in the video. There's all these catalysts that have formed, and one of them is once that now this is a little bit of an older video. He made it in January. Once he was saying once it gets more main stage, right? Right now it's big and not everybody's in it, right? People still kind of look down on Bitcoin, but as of 2 weeks ago, that changed. We crossed that threshold. It's now on the main stage, and everybody's talking about it, right? But what's even more is the institutions are starting to get into it. So it's going to create this catalyst where everyone, all the just people who maybe just heard of it are now getting into it. So now you're going to have this a flood of new people, the broader spectrum of the population getting into the crypto. And what is that going to do? it's going to dump money in and it's going to pump it up. And it's not going to just pump up Bitcoin. It's going to pump up altcoins, DeFi's, all this crap, all these other coins other than Bitcoin and Ethereum. Because they'll be looking at these $55,000 and 60 and 70. They're like, I don't want to get Bitcoin. So what do? They end up going and buying up the altcoins that are cheaper for $1 because they don't understand market caps that are yet. They don't get
Yeah.
that concept down. So they go in. So it's like you're at a juncture right now where the horn is blaring or on a train telling you we're getting ready to pull away from the station. The last chance. Say your
Hmm.
goodbyes because it's it. You're going to miss it. You
I read
might,
a bunch of articles this past week about Mark Cuban talking about how DeFi is going to
yeah,
just
DeFi's
completely
the way,
take
man.
off.
Decentralized finance.
And for anybody who doesn't know who Mark Cuban is the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. He's a billionaire. You've seen him on Shark Tank and other stuff like that. The
I
guy
pulled
is
him
a
up.
very, very, very smart investor.
There he
Somebody you
is.
should definitely listen to.
Why Grayscale and Mark Cuban bullish on Ethereum at 1900. So it means he's getting in it when it's at its all-time high. People are buying Bitcoin companies at its all-time high. That's the other things I think people don't understand. Once they get that in their mindset, that should be alarming. Like, wow, they're buying it when it's already at its all-time high of
Yeah,
55,000. It's only going to go up. You're going to get a pump and you're going to get a dump. But yeah, there's Cuban here talking about bullish on Ethereum, which is the other one you and I were talking about, which is the digital currency, definanced, decentralized finance, which Ethereum is. Remember you make that smart dollar do only for that industry, like real estate. It's the best way to describe it, right? And you could do that
yeah,
for every other industry. You can make Ethereum be programmed to only work in Home Depot goods or with the ice cream truck guy or McDonald's, right? The list is endless where you can apply Ethereum instead of using a dollar bill. You can use digital Ethereum and it's safe. You don't have any transaction fees, like, you know what I mean? Does that logic make sense? That's what it
yeah.
is. That's literally what it is. And you got Mark Cuban talking about he's bullish now and it's at 1900. Now, that's like you figured if he was because he's an entrepreneur and he's always looking for investors to invest, right? To put his capital into someone else on their idea, why would he be doing it at an all-time high? That's illogical from a business standpoint. You never buy on the high and sell on the low. You do the inverse, right? He
Right.
should have bought on the low and then looked to sell it on the high. Well, it's because he thinks we're not even close to where it's going to be.
That's right.
He's buying on what he sees the global big picture. He's successful in finance. 62 years old, 4.5 billion dollar net worth. Jesus, dude. He's giving you the writing on the wall. You just got to see it. It's plain as day.
Here's what really
It's
drives this home.
crazy.
So I'm taking a look here. 2020 survey by HSB. They said that 36% of small to medium businesses in the U.S. accept Bitcoin. Some of the most popular companies that are accepting Bitcoin as payments right now are Wikipedia, which I would never pay money into Wikipedia, Microsoft, AT&T, Burger King, KFC, Overstock, Subway, Twitch, Miami Dolphins, Dallas Mavericks accept Bitcoin as a method of payment for game tickets and merchandise. That's Mark Cuban. Virgin Galactic, Norwegian Air, Cheap Air, Newegg. The list goes on. Okay, Amazon, sort of, not
Which
directly.
one are you pulling
As,
up right there? What are you pulling up on that
so
one?
I did a search for companies that are accepting Bitcoin as
What did you
payment.
type in? What did you type in?
I typed exactly that:
Okay.
companies that accept Bitcoin. And just for everybody's situational awareness, I do not use Google for searching because I do not like the paid advertised results. So I actually use DuckDuckGo,
Yeah, that's
which
what
gives me more
I
direct.
should have DuckDuckGo on here, but I might not. DuckDuckGo is where I do need to go. That's why I'm not pulling up anything because I'm not sure. So that's why I'm not pulling up my information.
Right.
60 companies that accept Bitcoin 2020. So that's updated June 2020. That
Yeah.
list is look at that. Microsoft. Is this the one you were
It's
talking
long.
about?
That Microsoft was the one that broke the ice for me when I knew,
Yeah,
like, and I'm
BMW,
talking, I'm
AT&T.
talking like a year ago.
Yeah, this is last
Yeah.
June. That's
Hmm.
last June. I'm trying to look for a more recent one. Here's 2021, and this was updated on the just at the first of the year.
Overstock, Microsoft, PayPal, Shopify.
Look, this Microsoft, AT&T, Burger King. These are the ones that are coming. KFC, Overstock, Subway, Twitch, Pizza Hut, a couple Virgin Atlantic, Norwegian Air, Cheap Air, Newegg, 4chan, Amazon, not directly yet, but I think that's coming because Amazon's buying up Bitcoin, by the way, and Ethereum.
Yep.
They're buying up that both. Aside from this, the big companies I've mentioned, this guy mentioned there are many small. Bitcoin Travel, didn't even know that was one. Trying to see if there's any ones on here I could see. So there's a multitude of small businesses that are now accepting it.
Chase is coming. It says pressure is building on Wall Street
Oh
for
yeah,
banks to accept Bitcoin.
yeah.
Uh,
So
Thousands of JP Morgan Chase traders and sales guys.
so that's what I'm saying. Can you hear the horn now? Can you hear it louder? Can you hear the whistle going off? I mean, can you, Dave? It's literally like you can feel this rocket is starting to rumble, right? Once you get into this and you start doing research and you start listening to the people that have been in for 5+ years and how they're talking, you can
Yeah.
just the rocket. You can feel it shaking. You can feel the things they call it shooting the moon or going to the moon. You can feel it. I understand it. I saw one of these altcoins today literally shoot the moon. I heard it so much for the past month, right? All these places,
Yeah.
right? Well, I got on this morning, right? I was on, what was I on? Kraken. Kraken's another exchange that you can exchange alternative tokens. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. And I got on here and I watched one of these alternative coins that I had no idea what it was. And I just happened to see that it had a good rise on percentage. I'm like, wow, this is up like 40%. Let me check it out. Maybe I can not really recommend it, but catch a little bit of that rush going up. And
Right.
it skyrocketed from $1.20 to $8.88 in less than in like 20 seconds.
Hmm.
And then it hung itself there enough to tick over. So it must have hung there for at least a minute to 2 minutes, but it shot the moon. So if you had put in $100, just a little $100 on that, you would have had let's call it, round numbers, $1. You would have had 100 of those coins. It would have been $800 you would have yanked out.
Right.
That's what I mean. These random coins, alternative, and I'm going down the list here on Kraken. Kraken here is a place where you can buy said alternative coins. These are the all ones that are just really cheap. You don't get caught into that. It's the market cap you need to watch right here. It's the actual number to the right. They don't highlight. It's kind of funny. They highlight just the change in percentage.
Do you have money in Tezos, by the way?
No, I didn't. I have money. All right, so what I've got mine in are the following. I'll go down the list. I have Bitcoin. I have Ethereum. I do not have DOT, but I have Cardona. Cardona did great. Look at that.
Hmm.
21.26 today. It broke a dollar. It was nice to watch the old account go ching. I have Litecoin. It's down. Chainlink has been going up. And here's another one you should get into is Chainlink. Chainlink,
I have.
Chainlink is on its regular trend since look at this, the beginning
Yeah.
of the year. It's just trugging up like a train up a hill. Just keeps on going, and it'll have these little pockets of going up and down, right? Just don't sweat it. Just it's going up nice and slow, and that's what I want, really.
Right.
Since January to today, January 20th, or the beginning of the year, I guess. No, 20th to today, 20th.
Yeah.
1 month, it's gone up 61%. Yeah,
Here's what I
take
want.
that all day.
Here's what I want people to know, because we
There you
talked
go.
about
There's
this a
another
little
one.
bit before, right?
Yeah.
We talked about how you don't have to pay the full amount to buy a coin. You
Hmm.
put in what you can.
Yeah.
So this is a great example of that. So August, I can't tell what year this was. Either August of last year. Well, I see March of 19. So anyway, long story short, I have 70. I've got about $75 invested in Chainlink. That's what I bought for Chainlink. My
Okay.
current value, my wallet, my portfolio of Chainlink, I'm currently sitting at $514 based off a 70 something dollar investment.
Yeah.
So, that's the point. And I can see if I go back in and I look at my overview, right, or my wallet, it says on August 7th, I only bought $9 worth. I don't know what that was all about. I usually put in more money than that,
Y-
but maybe I had an extra $10 and I converted it over. I could see right here that I converted um, something. Oh, I converted Link.
Let me see how old I got one. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't show it. I don't want to show our uh, financial information. I don't want to do that.
I
But
converted
I'm gonna look at
something.
my link and look at my link history real quick and see.
Yeah, 79
The
bucks.
oldest link I have so far is for the 19th, and it was selling at that time $2.77 a coin.
Yeah.
I had bought $10 worth, and I turned around and I sold it, and then I bought some more, 10, $25 worth. So $25 worth, and then I sold it off at a loss.
Huh.
It was still
You,
$2.34 in November 2019. So it didn't really move much, right? It moved down 30 cents.
yeah.
And I held on to it for from July to uh, December or November, so almost 6 months. And I must have missed a high on it,
Yeah.
and off it went. And now look at it. If I just hung on to it, man,
It
that'd be a
only
nice
started
payday.
climbing. It started climbing in January. In January, it started shooting way high. I mean, we're sitting at right now currently $34. In the last year, it's gone up 731%.
Yeah, and just this month alone, a 30-day time period, 20th to now, it's gone up
Yeah.
61%. 61%. I'll take those gains every day of the
This
week.
is exactly what you're trying to do. This is exactly, you put a little bit of money, $10,
You could put
30
it in now.
bucks.
Like you can put it in
Yeah.
chain. And here's the thing I think, Dave, that people need to know is you got to know the token and what it does. Don't just invest and try to hold and hodl onto any Bitcoin or sorry, any crypto, because that's not the way it works. It is not the way it works. You want it to be, but it's not. I find that it's quite the opposite. You gotta
Right.
you gotta uh, you gotta hold on to coins that are worth holding on to, because I go to find out that a lot of these coins that are in the top 10 right now, like Polkadot, Cardano, and Tether, and Ripple, and you fill in the Lumens, Stellar Lumens, and then Uniswap. I'll throw that in 11. Some of these were like on the bottom 25 just 6 months ago, and a year ago, some of them weren't even existing. So you don't know what's going to be coming down the pipe in a year, 6 months. That's the kind of time frame I use, 6 months now.
Yeah.
Bitcoin and Ethereum are for sure your holders. The ones that are also a holder at least for 6 months is Cardano and Polkadot, because what these two are trying to do is be an Ethereum. They're trying to
Right.
be smart coins. They're trying to be the smart transaction dollar, right? So they're not necessarily they're saying they're not competing against Ethereum, but they're filling in the gap that Ethereum is lacking, which is Ethereum's fees to trade it are too high, or Polkadot and Cardano to get smart coins that do those smart transactions, their fees are completely way less. And so
Right.
that's why they're getting a hike in price, right? As soon as Ethereum comes out, man, with 2.0, which is already done, like it's just through its testing phases, right? Once they release it, this stuff won't matter.
Yeah.
That's why I
I
say
agree.
6 months is fine. But after that, if you're going to hold these, it's just as how long Ethereum is. You just keep your ear to the Ethereum. Like make sure you're listening to what any news on Ethereum comes up. If they're talking about releasing 2.0, then you know it might be time to think about, if you're holding Polkadot or ADA Cardano, that you might want to drop it. Just get rid of it, and dump it into Ethereum. Ethereum is eventually going to take over all of these smart assets right here.
Yeah. Here it says Ethereum 2 refers to a set of interconnected upgrades that will make Ethereum more scalable, more secure, more sustainable. Ethereum does really good by itself. If this is only going to improve upon that, I hope that's actually the
Yeah,
case.
Ethereum is a global open source platform for decentralized applications. So, and I think when they say applications, they're talking about other coins that can work within its, remember, dollar to dollar or person A to person B transaction, making
Right.
it the smart dollar. Look here and look, if you just hold it, all right. just like Chainlink. Here's another example.
Hold it.
Hold, hodl. If you hodled it from January 21st, its lowest in the past 30 days, at 1,111, it is now up to, its highest was 2,038. All right, I think so.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
like that. It says it right there, but it's right now it's almost 2 grand. We'll call it 2 grand. That is that's 44% gains in a month.
yeah.
Again, that's fine. You just got to know which ones to hold. What did Kenny Rogers say? Know when to hold them, know when to run. You
Well,
could
just look at it.
looks it's just a steady climber, right? Just a steady climb over all these months. This is a year-long chart. No, it's just a month. All right, it's just a month. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, look at that's another great one to hold. There's
Yeah,
no point in trying to get in and out and in and out on it. Just buy in on the low. There's not going to be a big ass low. Like, don't look for it to turn around and tank to $1,300. I don't think that's going to happen.
yeah.
It's been building for days just to break 2,000. So,
So here's what I'm looking at for my portfolio. For anybody out
mhm.
there that might be curious, I've got 60 and over 60% of my portfolio is in Bitcoin alone. 34, almost 35% Ethereum. I've got 3% in Chainlink, and then the list goes down from there to Tezos, XRP. I'm holding right now. Algorand, I've got a little bit. Synthetic Network, SNXT or whatever. Compound and Ox. That's where I put my stuff.
I was trying to get both of us up here. I think I can do it again. Okay. The I don't have a percentage. Oh, I do have percentages. Hold on.
Yeah, it's right there in
Mine.
their portfolio.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I have. I'm looking on the mobile. I'm not looking on the desktop. So usually it shows. Why am I not getting it? Excuse me. Oh, it's not giving me percentages. Huh. Oh well, I guess I could do it on my app. But anyways, most of my holdings is in Ethereum. Then
Sure.
then Bitcoin. I'm doing Cosmos, which is a eight. It's
Staking rewards.
yeah. So it's this one right here, number 16. I'll pull it up right now. So this is my number three. Well, on Coinbase, I have several wallets, not just one. But in a nutshell, Ethereum is number one. Bitcoin is number two. Cardona is number three, actually.
Cardona.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is ADA, which is the one that's filling in the gap that Ethereum can't do, right?
Yeah.
Cosmos, because you can stake on Cosmos. So not only can I buy on Cosmos and own the token and understand what it does, but I also can stake my tokens basically back into the company, and then I get a constant residual. So if you look at its 30-day trend, it's up 154%.
No kidding. What's Cosmos sitting at right now?
21.99, so 22 bucks. If you bought in earlier in the year, beginning of the year, or 30 days ago, it was $8.50, 60 cents, somewhere around there. So
My God.
yeah, and this is a
Well, you
long.
know what?
This is a I've chosen to long hold my position on this, due to the fact that I'm staking on it. It's one of the
Sure.
places that you can stake, so I'm willing to go a little bit more all in on this one. Plus, a lot of people are uh, kind of doing the same thing. We're not there. You don't notice there's no pump and dump going. If you look at the trend chart, there's no pump and dump. It's just a steady incline, a couple good peaks, and some bounce downs to get regrouped and reconsolidated and keep moving up. So
Cool.
those
I
are
just
my
put a
long
little
holds.
cash in. I
Those
put a
are the
little
long
cash in
holds.
right now.
Um, get back to
So I've
my
got.
screens.
I do not have Cosmos. Well, I didn't until about 30 seconds ago, but I do have Tezos.
Let's see if I can get you up somewhere. I'm trying to keep you up right here. So now,
Have you done any kind of mining on your own machine? I mean, do you use a graphics
no,
card or anything?
no. So,
Nice hash.
so here's yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to resize the images here so I can get this a little bit better. So I don't have to keep bouncing around. All right, cool. Uh, no, mining to me I think is done, and because this after all my research, mining is on such a scale right now. Like unless you get into a mining pool, which you could do,
Yeah,
you can invest if you got a little bit more capital that you want to invest. You can get into a mining pool, but doing it on your own, unless you're going to mine some alternative coin, maybe. But
yeah,
like mining Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can cross that off your list. Yeah, there's no way you're going to be able to. You do not have the power to do it. You're going against farms that have millions and millions and millions of dollars dumped into them. They got thousands and thousands of computers, GPUs, and everything. Why do you think there was a shortage on 1080 Ti's and all that? It's
yeah,
because they were mining them. They were hoarding them. The miners were buying them and using them to mine the coin. And if people don't understand what we're talking about, in order to mine a coin, you physically think they're mining. What these computers are having to do is solve an equation, and the equation, once solved, the reward, if you will, is part of a Bitcoin or a Bitcoin, depending on how complex the math problem is, right? As time goes on, each math problem becomes just a little bit harder for the next one to solve, and then they crack and get the answer, and then they get a token. So that's what it's literally doing. And in order to do these math problems, in the early days, you could just use your computer and run it off the CPU, right? Because you're processing just math, right? You don't need a lot, but you want to do it a lot of times and very quick because it's constantly getting stronger and more complex. Well, that time went away because it just multiplied itself, right? And then it switched to graphics cards because graphics cards are actually faster than your CPU. Your GPU is much faster, more robust, does a lot more than your CPU does. So that's why you had a mass buying tulip spree on 1080 Ti's, and it's going to happen again. Now you got newer graphics cards coming out, so then it was mined with 1080 Ti's. Everybody was doing it. I remember that.
yeah,
2017, everybody was getting 1080 Ti's and running around and mining. They're trying to mine Bitcoin and Ethereum. Well, again, it multiplied outside of that. No longer could you just use a 1080 Ti. Now you needed to have even stronger. It's just going to keep getting that way. So it swelled away from everybody being able to do it on their own. Now you have to be in a pool of multitudes of 1080 Ti's or 2080s or whatever it's a current 3080, right? You got to now have like 15 of them to go at it, or 100, and it's just going to keep getting more complex until they're all gone, until the chain is completely cracked and all the coins are obtained. That's it.
yeah,
So to get into it on your own, I don't think it's worth doing mining. So I immediately, once I understood what was going on, I said, no, it's not for me. And neither is
yeah.
cloud mining or anything that nonsense. You could invest though, I think it's like 5 grand. I think it's a worthy of like you could get into a mining pool,
Right.
and at each one of them, I think has a different entrance cost that you get in, and this is what you potentially could get out. So
So I have. Oh man, I had a
are
shit.
you in one?
Yeah, well, no, I'm not in a mining pool, but what I did was I got involved with Nice Hash, and so occasionally I've used my gaming machine um, to help mine in the background or whatever. So we log off this call, whatever time we log off, I might actually turn it on, start up my rig, and let it use my 2080 graphics card to make me a little bit of money. So I just checked my balance, and I'm currently sitting at $25.
Mining
So
what?
Bitcoin. Uh,
Bitcoin's here's another.
I know, I know it.
This is a good sidestep, right? So with Bitcoin, here's the crazy nonsense, right? I'm gonna pull it up since it's right here. I got a little format we can work with right now. Clean it up for the next time we get on. It's the thing called Bybit. It's on the opening of this live stream. So when you're leverage trading, leverage trading, right?
Yep.
You can leverage trade Bitcoin. And man, when I say it's like shooting fish in a barrel, it's like shooting fish in a fucking barrel. It really is. You just got to learn the system. We're in learning phase right now, right? We're basic training. But what's crazy is you're leverage trading this thing, it's going up in value. So as you're trading and it's on a lower value and if you're trading over the course of like a few hours, maybe a little in the morning you're trading and you get some winnings, right? You turn around and it just sits in your bank and then it just increases in value on its own. So not only did you get some by the trade that you made, you also are going to get more in value because it just in time it's going up.
Right.
It's like a win-win. It's literally a win-win scenario. I don't get why not a lot of people are not using this. I can understand people may get a little bit scared or nervous from it, but
Hey, do you have a referral code for this Bybit?
I don't have a referral code. I can refer you to a guy and let him have the referral code, but go to bitboy.com or bitboy on YouTube. He's now the number. Here's how I knew something else was getting nuts. So when the stocks were going up with AMC and GameStop, right? And I was looking into Bitcoin more, I came across this guy's channel. And at that time, he only had, this is like a month ago, he only had 340,000 subs, I think, somewhere,
Yeah.
something like that. Dude, he's almost 600,000. So he's doubled his viewership in 1 month.
Hmm.
1 month. 1 year ago, dude, he said his channel was nothing. He was just a little piddly ass channel that two dudes like to trade crypto, and we're going to get into it, kind of like what we're doing right now. And then it turned into what it is. Like it wasn't necessarily his goal. He said it just did. It's insane. Like everybody's flooding to his channel. So I'm watching this, and more people, and the guy's literally talking like, "Wow, we're getting a lot more people than normal. You know, starting to watch our channel. We love it. Thanks for the subs.
Sure.
There's got a big flooding." And I knew what the reason was is everyone's losing faith that's not older than you and I, meaning our parents or our older brothers and sisters, right? I'm 48, you're 40. What? No, you're how old are you?
40.
Yeah, 40. Anybody above our age, right, is the old school of thought of investing for the most part, right? Like you said with your mom, now they finally see it, man. Kids below us, they already know. They've known about it.
Yeah.
They've known about it.
And I remember reading an
They've
article of
known
some
about it.
kid that is a multimillionaire uh, because of his investment in Bitcoin early on.
Here's the thing: you're not too late to get in to some of these. Getting into any Bitcoin at this point is crucial. You got to get some of it, get it. And then Ethereum. Ethereum really is the golden ticket,
Yeah.
2.0. Because Bitcoin, the people who made it, the people who are the common Joes who, that scenario of, oh, I got in with $100, I got 100 Bitcoin, right, at $1 each. Oh my God, look at it now, it's 55,000 for every coin that I bought for $1. Those days in Bitcoin are literally almost over. You're going to make money in Bitcoin if you have large money to put into Bitcoin. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, you'll still make money. But if you want to look like multiplying your portfolio on 3x it, 4x it, all that nonsense, then you need to be into something more like Ethereum or
Yeah.
one of these other coins that have legs on them, Chainlink. That's
They're only
that's the
going to continue to grow.
yeah, man. They're only going to continue to grow. And on Bybit, and I'm in this now. Like this is the not only can you do it that way, right? That's for the long-term investor, right? If you want a long-term into crypto, which you should, those are the ones I suggest that I've been seeing on everybody else's, like the consensus, right? Um, and then you can get into alternative coins and invest a little more risky. It's more volatile. You're not going to be hanging on to it for like years. It's months is only. Here's where they're making the money, Dave, is on Bybit.
Yeah.
This is where
Here-
they're making the money,
Here's
man.
here's something interesting
They
about
are
Bybit.
rolling in the money on this.
I just went to go sign up for Bybit while we were talking about it, and it tells me my IP address
Yeah,
is not supported.
you got to have a
So,
VPN.
and I do, and I do. I personally I use Windscribe for anybody out there that's looking for a VPN. That's the one that I
So my
choose.
buddy George is just like you. He's literally a networking guru. That's what he does. He's yeah, like you and him. I'd had to say, I don't know. He, so we went through the whole gamut. He went go through the ringer. You're good. You're good. We went through
Yeah.
all the white pages. We read everything for 2.5 hours. I wasn't too happy about that, but we went through it all, and because he wanted to see everything,
Right.
all of the details. Where is there means where I can get liquidated? Everything. He wanted to see the formulas, the math. He wanted to see it written out. He was like, I'm not getting into this until I know. And then he's like, oh, I'm not worried about the network. I'm secure here. Look
Sure.
at me. This is what I do. It's like I have top secret clearance for a reason. It's like that makes sense. I
Heck
gotcha.
yeah.
So he's in it. Run your VPN, you're fine. You're gonna be totally okay. If you want to do it, if you know what you're doing, right? And I know you do. That's why we have this group small. We're not trying to make a big YouTube channel. So George has been on here. We did the first day of Bybit we tried to do a first day of live exercise, live fire exercise basically, but it was kind of a fail. So we did it again yesterday, but we didn't record it, and we were successful. Um, I'm telling you, Dave, this is where you're gonna make the money, and you make it quick. You in, you're out. You make one trade, you leverage it 25x.
Right.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, you just got to, and then run TradingView. You run TradingView, then run Bybit. TradingView, you got to have running by the second, and then you can have Bybit, and where you actually physically make the trade, get in and out. If you do it right, you're going to succeed. But we're
So
literally in this. We're using very small account right now. We did paper trading for a number of days, and now we switched over to a very small funded account on Bybit. It's like 120 bucks, I think. But you can get in trades on that, right? And the key right now is just to get in and actively trade and test our indicators on TradingView that we use to determine whether it's going to go up or down. And
and
it
again,
works.
to recap on that part is to buy it on Coinbase Pro
Yeah,
after
buy
you've
it.
established yourself.
So buy it on Coinbase Pro. That's the safe place. That's the safe entry. That's the gate. You get to Coinbase Pro, get your money, get your fiat onto there, then you're in. Then you're in. Then just get it parked and then start doing research. But the key number one step for everybody that's going to watch this is go get your Bitcoin, go get your Ethereum, just those two, just those two, and then uh, start doing research. You know, do the research, find out more, see how far you want to see if Bybit's even a thing you want to do. Most
Yeah.
likely for a lot of people, it's not going to be. This is really high risk crap. The idea is if you want to get into crypto, then get into those two things for a long hodl position. Hold it forever. Um, any other coin, you need to do your research and you need to figure out if it's got legs. There
Yep.
is one that's another one, Dave, that I wanted to bring up, which is synthetics. Didn't we talk about
I,
this last time? You do?
we did not talk about it last time, but I do own a little bit.
Okay.
What is it? SNXT
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah. SNX is a hold. And the reason why it's a hold is if you understand what it does. So synthetics is literally the crypto or the part of the blockchain that will be the digital version of the assets that are on the stock exchange. Gold, silver, other stocks. It's the digital version of said thing. So an ounce of gold, now an ounce of digital gold, if you will. It's in a crypto version, if that makes sense. So now you can start trading it again like a smart token, like part of the Ethereum, right? It's another smart dollar, but it's meant for assets, and that's why it's a long hold.
And it's a long hold also because trading activity shows 49% buy, 51% selling. So believing it, and
Hmm.
this is taking a again about the research part. Make sure you know what you're doing. Take a look at it. Read the white paper. The white paper.
Yep.
This is why I like Coinbase. Coinbase has
Hmm.
all that stuff available to you at easy click, easily found. The white paper's on there. The official website's on there, and then all of the top stories in the latest and greatest crypto news that will explain why you should or should not. And I think that's really important to point out. But yes,
I'm pulling up
number one and number
Coinbase right
two,
now.
Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're your top two. They're your biggest money makers. You're going to see more traction right now with Ethereum than you will with Bitcoin, because anybody trying to get into Bitcoin right now, look, I had people reach out to me a few days ago, and I wish that they would have actually taken that time, like reach out to me, but let's do this right now, because had they done this a few days ago, they would have been
Yeah,
able to buy in at
yeah,
49,000
and
or 48,000.
that's crazy because when I got in on Bitcoin, it was 38,000. 38,000, right? And I didn't think it was going to jump this high, right? When I got into it, I just knew from knowing 4 years before with guys in the drone industry, top guys. I'm not going to name names, but top people that I know. We were talking about the international, and I was like, 2017 and 18, and then it went away. But I said if it ever
Right.
did come again, I'm in it at that time, and this is now. And I didn't think through the research and the people talking about it's going to get 55 or 50,000 when I got in at 38 that it would do that. And
Yeah.
it literally did that. And then it's blown off the lid off that. So it's even more. But back to what you were saying about Coinbase. Coinbase right here, I'm showing on the stream is it does give you a whole bunch. What is Ethereum? It gives you all the basics, crypto basics. What is blockchain? What is Bitcoin? What to read, watch, and stream. We should probably watch that. What is
Sure.
staking? Staking. This is the new thing. Staking is new. Newer to me. I didn't know they were doing it.
Yeah.
A lot of people are also saying it's a newer thing. What is a bull or a bear market? Bear market is going down, means they're selling it off. You're losing money if you're not leverage trading, so that's a no-no. And bull market is when it's going green and going up and increasing in value. So, what is DeFi? And this is very crucial. Like this is the number one thing you need to get into right now. Short for decentralized finance. DeFi is an umbrella term for peer-to-peer financial services on a public blockchain, primarily Ethereum. So, like we said, from person to person, doing a financial service or transaction like selling a house or taking someone on a taxi cab drive, the driver to the passenger, airlines, all kinds of stuff. Why is DeFi important? DeFi takes the basic premise of Bitcoin, digital money, and expands on it, creating an entire digital alternative to Wall Street, but without all the associated costs, like the office towers, trading floors, bank salaries,
Yep.
employees, everything. This has the potential to create more open, free, and fair financial markets that are accessible to anyone with an internet connection, which is true. Here's the brilliance. Think about this. Just think about this, Dave. What did Elon Musk, what have they been sending in space over and over again? The
Hmm.
Starlink.
Yep.
If Starlink is doing what it's going to do, which is give everybody around the world access to the internet, what do you think the next logical step is? That you have a digital currency that is ran on said network. I mean, that's genius.
Right.
It's genius. Like if you,
Well,
it's just
and
crazy.
you can sign up. You can sign up for Starlink right now. There's early access. I actually got the link. I could send it
Well, an
over.
IPO on that?
No, I mean you can sign up for Starlink actual
Oh, the actual
service right now.
service?
Yeah.
Wow.
So and
I
it's like
wonder how good it's going to be. I mean, it's still satellite based, but I
it's
wonder how it's going to be.
it's not as fast. I mean, I've seen them fly over, right? I mean, you can see them on a
I
clear
haven't.
night.
I haven't yet.
It's a line of. I mean, they're spaced out evenly, and you can see them all move together across the sky. If you're in a dark enough place
It's
where there's
crazy.
little to no light saturation, you could totally see it. But I'm on gig cable
Yeah,
here,
me too.
so I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not interested in switching
Yeah.
until Starlink or fiber gets in my area and says that they
That's what I
can
have.
beat. I want multi-gig speeds. I want to, I live in a
Fiber.
house with a bunch of people, so I have my bandwidth needs,
But see,
and
think
stuff
about
like.
it. If you have a Starlink system, and we're looking outside of the two network guys, right? I get it. You and I both know the best thing to have right now is fiber. You cannot beat it. It's going to blow anything out of the water. That's what I have. When it came here, I got it right away. I didn't screw around. But think about it on a global scale. Most people don't have that. Most people outside of the United States are not in a highly it's they're usually in a third world country. Let's be frank.
Yeah,
Their economy's way worse. I mean, that's the ours the best, but you know what I mean. They don't have access to all this kind of thing, right? They don't have network infrastructure of a fiber optic system, which Google's trying to do. But good luck. It's much easier to
yeah,
just send that shit up in space, blast it around, and just everything's wireless. Why
yeah.
do
Now,
physical
now
cable?
everybody
Now
has it.
everybody has access to the internet running just your simple phone. You don't need
Yeah.
to have a you don't have to have a modem and a hard line. You don't have to have a house and yada yada yada. You just have to have this. And now
And how about the
you could
other
just
part?
make a transaction with this. You don't need a bank. You
You
don't
don't need
need
an
you
ATM.
don't need an ATM. You don't
You
need
know.
squat. And if they are accepting it for you, then you're just going. "Beep." I
Yep.
don't ever have to see a bank again the rest of my life. Plus, now if you're not hearing this, do your research. Listen to what all the new financial news are talking about. Uh, Amazon's talking about paying. Is it Amazon talking about paying? People are talking about paying their employees in Bitcoin
Yeah.
and
Dude, sign me up.
including it in their 401ks. It, it's it's here.
Yep.
If you don't
Sign
take it,
me up.
don't take it now. So back to DeFi. Um, benefits. You don't need to apply for anything or open, quote, open an account. You just get access by creating a wallet. See, that's what I was talking about, where if you're trading a house, you just trade ETH, short for
Yep.
Ethereum, and you don't need to have an account with anybody. You don't have to go get a loan with anybody. You don't have to do any of that nonsense.
Here's something interesting I just came across while we're talking about it. I see that PayPal is offering people rewards if they buy crypto with PayPal.
Mhm.
So
I think Ed was talking about that. That's
PayPal will give
smart.
you $25 reward if you buy $100 in crypto through PayPal, and then
Do
if
it. Turn around, buy
you get
more
a
Bitcoin.
hell yeah, you get $10 reward when you buy $10 plus worth of crypto with PayPal. So
Do it. Do it.
PayPal's paying you either way.
Mhm.
So I'll dig into that a
Just
little
open
bit.
up an account just to get them free money and turn around and roll it over into Bitcoin. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
That's a no-brainer. You're giving me
send it over to Coinbase.
you're giving me that fiat money so I can turn around and buy some of this stuff.
Yep.
Just no-brainer. Sounds good. Just hand it on over and I'll just stick it over here. And now I'm
Oh
saying
yeah.
to everybody not to go out and take and empty your house, saving your savings and then go and buy everything on or in Bitcoin or anything like that. I'm not saying that. Or go and get a second mortgage if you have a house. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is, if you are foolish, if you don't put anything right now, 2021 on February 20th, if you don't put anything in it, you are just silly now.
Missing out.
You're
Missing out.
missing out. This because what's eventually going to happen is Bitcoin's going to just eventually just taper off. It's going to hit a plateau. It's just going to hit a because there's only so much of it. It's just going to plateau and it's going to come to and eventually, and this is like 50 years, it will just be the currency. There'll be no it is it, and no longer will use paper and all that silly stuff. We'll just be using everything digital. It doesn't matter anymore. So you averaging and trying to make money and leverage it, it'll be gone. It'll be gone. But
My kids'
that's what
kids.
yeah, kids,
When my
kids.
kids have kids,
Yeah,
they're gonna say, "You mean you guys had money on paper
right.
and coins? What? What are you talking about?"
They can look back us on this video because it'll still be around. It's on
Hey,
the
kids
internet.
today don't know that you can press zero to call an operator on your
They
phones.
don't remember that phones used to be attached to a wall. And he used to turn the dial to or call and say, "Hey, I want to call overseas, operator. Where to? Germany. Okay, hold on. Let me call your party."
Yep.
Yeah. But they will. The kids now, like it's two generations from us now, or kids, like you said, are gonna this to them. They'll look back on this like, ah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
totally right. This is crazy. They use paper. Wow, they use the dollar. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, and yeah. Hey, future. No, we saw it. Some of his old grandpas actually. We see the writing on the wall, and
Yep.
we're trying to catch the wave. And there you go. That's what I got for today. I mean, there's a lot of information that everybody can go around and try to get, and it's a lot to soak in, especially if you are understanding the reality of the situation that it's here and it's really happening. It's not going anywhere. It's only getting bigger. You're going to have a lot of reading and studying to do over the coming weeks, but eventually you get to a plateau in itself as well of learning. You'll steady out. You're gonna kind of shoot up like this because you're gonna understand. You're gonna be like, damn it, you're gonna study, and then it'll start to gradually kind of lean towards a more of a good maintenance level of trying to soak in information because it can be overwhelming. There's a lot of information. It's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff going on, and you need to find out who to latch to get uh, your weekly or daily information about crypto, and that's why I recommend BitBoy. That's number one. Uh, 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 Crypto Zombie. That's a number two. And then the third one is Crypto Revolution. Uh, just watch those three guys. They put out videos every single day. Crypto Revolution actually will show you trading view and show you his analysis of where he thinks certain alternative coins are going, including Bitcoin. He lays out the roadmaps. He talks about it. He's very informative. He does try to sell you into getting into his system, whatever. The main thing is what he talks about is actually true, and he gives you news articles. So what you're not seeing on mainstream media, this guy's going and doing the research. He's posting it up so you can hear and see what's going on, and you're informed. Because I don't know where else you could get it, Dave. I don't know where you go and get more
Yeah.
information.
And this applies to a lot of things I've done in my life where I have a lot of hobbies. Just anybody who knows me knows that. But um,
New one being
the best
snowboarders.
advice, yeah, this one back there. Um,
Snowboards.
the one thing I would say, and I learned this from my buddy Mike from the saltwater aquarium hobby, told me that you pick one source of information, you generally stick to it,
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
everybody's got an opinion about stuff. You know,
Hmm.
like all these guys that got super ridiculous about Robinhood and all the other, the little trends. And I saw it on Facebook. They're trying to get all their friends involved. Cool, good for you.
Yeah. Right.
But really need to educate yourself a little bit on this stuff. And I would say if you guys want to tune back in on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock Central Time, or I think we're doing Central Time, but
It's whatever you
um,
want. You want Central or East?
I like Central. I
Ten
could do
o'clock.
it earlier
10,
too.
10
I could
o'clock
do it.
Central. 10 o'clock Central is
Yeah,
what you go locked. So we'll just do
sure,
that. So
sure.
it's 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central. Is we're going to going forward. That will
Yeah,
be. We won't be skipping any days, any Saturdays. We will definitely do this as a weekly update, so
yeah,
we would love to get more people on. We just get it to grow. If you have somebody that you can confide in, that you understand, that is, could be part of this group, that's what we want. And then share information, because, like I said, getting information is really hard right now, and you want to
yeah,
focus on a central uh, uh, sources of information. And here's what I was learning in my coaching days, right? And I have accolades that are not hanging on the wall. Next time they will be, to give a little validity to my statement. I used to coach soccer professionally for years, and the one thing I learned through my training when I was getting my advanced nationals, one of the FIFA coaches from overseas was saying, he goes, the biggest problem that coaches have coming up, and even top tier like where you're at, is you grasp on to so much information, this coach's style, that coach's style, this country style, that, and then you're so lost in grabbing, and all of it's good information, but it's too much information. You need to harness, he said, no more than three styles. That's his method of information that you pull from to develop your program, your training sessions, or the way you're going to apply it to your team for the season or mid-season or whatever it may be. You just, if that's what you want to emulate, just only emulate a few. Don't try to emulate all, because then you'll emulate none.
yeah. It's
You'll
very
emulate
confusing.
none. Yes. So
You get overwhelmed with the information.
I
You don't
picked
want
those
that.
three. There's one more I threw in there, and that's, I think his name's Andre, Andrei, and it will pull up. I think it is Andreijikh. Jaka. He's from Russia, but he came over as a child. So he's got like a Russian name. He's got the Ethereum Bitcoin video that will explain everything for you in a way that you never heard it, and it'll blow your mind. But those are the three main ones. Are those first three? Then I keep it to that. I don't try to get into any more space and hit new recommendations by YouTube or anything. I'm like, nope, this is what I'm going to stick with. That's it. I don't need any more. Three is the rule for me. Maybe it's five for you. I wouldn't recommend it, but three seems to be like you can grasp.
Yeah,
And what I see in those three is, and the reason why I picked it, is the commonality in the information. They keep touching on the same main points. Like, you can sift through the garbage, you know, and grasp the proper intel, right? The proper intelligence that you're trying to get, right? And speaking like military, and you can weed out the crap, and you can see the common ground on all three, and that's what I'm like. Okay, they seem to be talking the same thing about a certain topic, like Ethereum. Yes, Ethereum is what it was doing for 2 weeks. It's holding at 1800 and all bouncing around, but they kept saying the reasons why, and they were kind of both all saying the same thing in a way. And then they were saying it's going to crack, it's going to crack, it's going to crack, and lo and behold, it cracked. It's things like that. So pick your sources, go with them, and that's all you need to do.
yeah. Do your due diligence and then
Yeah,
come
man.
back in and chat with
Yeah,
us. Because
we'd love to hear from you. Yeah, until then, just go get your trading view and get some money and get your Coinbase account going. Those are the two main things. So if you're watching the video on Newbies to Crypto, that's the whole idea. We're trying to help everybody. We're in it with you. We're just a couple more weeks ahead of you. Maybe a little longer, who knows? Maybe a month or two or a year, but not by
yeah,
leaps and bounds. So stick with us. We'll try to, carry you along with us, and not leave anybody behind, for sure.
and if this goes the way it's supposed to go,
Hmm.
I will buy a Tesla with my Bitcoin. So,
Nice.
we're getting
Nice.
there. We're getting there.
Me, my goal. I'm going to tell you what my goal is. My goal. I'm not. I have a nice house. I've got cars that I want to have. I'm not. I grew up with family. We had money. Blah blah blah. I don't need much. But one of the things that I do want to have before I croak and leave this planet is I would like to have more property to leave for my kids, meaning literally property. Property to leave behind to say this is our land, and there you go. And if I get to put
And
some
your name
stuff,
on Mars.
huh?
And your name on Mars.
And my name on Mars. I'm not gonna buy into that nonsense. It's just the easy way to make money for Elon.
Yeah.
It's so silly. Um, but that's my financial goals. Of course, is increase my capital, my worth, and have savings. But instead of my Tesla, me buying a Tesla, I wouldn't do that. I'd never do that. I would take that said money and go buy more property. That's what I want. I just want more land in Colorado. And I already have places picked. As long as they don't get
Yeah.
sold up, then I'm good to go. Because I hope to buy
Right.
another 5 acres this year. That's the plan. I already have 5, so get another 5 and hopefully get to 25. And after that, it's just gravy. It's
Yeah.
gravy. So yeah, tune in next Saturday,
Saturday
11
at 10.
11 a.m. I'll probably be at the shop. Marty came down. The guy does a show with me, came out with COVID, so to kind of stay away from the shop. But anyways, cool. I had fun. I think
Cool.
this was
Yeah.
informative. I think people got a lot of information out of it. Hopefully they do when they watch it, if they do.
Yeah.
But either way, it's a chronological recording of you and me and George and Ed Ricker, all of us going on this journey together because all 4 of us are, and then there's another Dave and Herb. So there's what, six of us now?
Yeah.
Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
And hey,
seven,
look, I would
seven.
I would
So that's
love to come
seven
back
of us
next week.
now. Seven now in this group that are together doing this thing. So
I would love to come back next week and us talk about how Bitcoin's at 100,000 because it could literally
I,
happen at any time.
I think. What do you? Let me look at real quick before we go. Let me give it a little trend analysis. So let me give it a little trend here. I love trending. I don't know what it is. I just love doing these charts. All right, see what we can get going on here. Pop a little bit of a tool here. Give me a little bit of this. I'm just looking at here. Might be too long. Let me draw the trend line then. Screw it. Doesn't want to take it. And man, you can see where I got in way back there. Yeah, dude. I got in when it was $34,000.
Man.
Oh, I never thought I was gonna see that this quick. I knew it was coming. I just didn't think like right now. Like, what?
Yeah.
All right. So if it follows its daily trend, oh, this is an hourly. That's why I'm having such a fuck up time. All right, hold on. This is good analysis here. I want to see. Go. Let's see. That's a little too sharp. You go the hourly then. 4-hour chart. All right, 4-hour chart. All right, I got one here. What do we say? Next week? So what's
Yep.
that? What's the date on that?
Next week, 27th.
All right. So according to this chart, it should fall if it trends the same way it's been trending on the 4-hour chart since the latter part of January, right? 65,000. 65,500. Somewhere in that range.
This means it's not too late.
It's not too late. Like, yeah, if you put 55 in now, you can get 10 grand profit. Like, seriously. But what's most likely going to happen is because I am showing this trend line, and we'll go over a little bit more trending next week, um, and so people understand how this works. These charts do show you most likely what it's going to do based on its trend. You just got to know how to use and make trend lines. You got to know how to make things connect. And then you can make a better informed decision on entering or exiting, holding on any particular crypto asset. So you just uh, this thing is your friend. They say in crypto, at least there's a couple terms. Trend is your friend, and don't get wrecked. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking 65,000 you can get in right now. It's worth putting money in. It's like a safety deposit box. Stick your money in there. But what I'm getting at is it's going to eventually bounce back, and it's going to bounce back along this trend line. And if this trend line were right, it could go down all the way back down to 38K. which is what I said. What 40K is what I said it could post
Yeah.
potentially. So I could see a 40K bounce back, or not bounce back, go to the downside, as they say, to test this trend line, also known as a support level, go down and hit it, and then it will go back up because it did it right here. It did it when it went to 40,000. It trended back down, hit the trend line, okay, and then bounced back up, and we're on its upswing right now, right? So you got to look for a potential like don't get caught in what's called FOMO, fear of missing out, and trying to buy right this very simple second. So I mean, we did say you want to get up on it, you want to get money in, put your money in Ethereum.
Yep.
Put your money in Ethereum. Get your money in now on Ethereum. I would kind of maybe wait a little bit on maybe not. I mean, it's such a weird one because how fast it's moving. That you know, do you take the risk seeing this trend line right now? Do you take the risk of getting in now or waiting for the dip to come down and getting at a cheaper level, knowing it's going to bounce back up? Folks, it is not hitting zero. If anybody's telling you it's going to hit zero, are just pissed off that they didn't invest in crypto. It's
Yeah.
really all it is. It's not going to zero. It's not happening. So that's all I got. Cool. We'll go over this
Yeah.
next
Me too.
week. And
Sounds good.
I appreciate the time, Dave. I know this was a little hard to get into and took me forever, but going
That's okay.
forward, we should be smoothed out, and I'll streamline this a little bit better, make it a little nicer, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Cool.
All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. Everybody that's watching, and you have me and Shelby all week.
Yep.
So hit us up if you have
Just hit us
questions
up.
because I'm
You
all
got
about
it.
it.
You got us on social media. All right. We'll talk to you all later. We're out.
All right.